Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And guys, today I want to do another small 25 XRP giveaway. And if you want to enter, all you got to do is go ahead and check out the Discord. Alright, join it real quick. A link will be in the description below. And if we hit 1,000 likes, we'll give it away right under this video, everybody. So also make sure you press the like button. Having said that, today I want to talk a little bit more about my decision that I told you guys about yesterday. So what I said was I'm going to be buying in at the best possible time because I think this is the lowest we're going to see in a little bit. Now, I did change my mind a little bit. However, let me guide you guys through it. So a little bit earlier, I believe it was right here, the 21st of September, we were talking about our zone getting hit, or at least us getting back into our zone. And what that basically meant was we have some free range from about 24 to about 22.7 cents here, where there's not really anything determined. And yes, it did so for the next, I guess, 1.5 days or so, until all of a sudden, some heavy swoop brought us in territory below my support, or at least below the bottom part of my area. And what that would indicate is, in my opinion, that some more bearish stuff would occur and that we could short. However, the thing is though, this is a 1 hour graph, which I don't really use to trade because I'm a little bit of a longer term trader. However, if you wanted to go in for the quick little 3% snatch, you probably could have still pulled it off. I'm thinking here, you know, looking at it from I guess a quick trade perspective, you still could have pulled that off. I don't know how do I get this? Oh, this is annoying. You still could have pulled it off. I don't know how to get this thing out of the way so you guys can see it. However, the percentage I think is quite clear. Let's go from the bottom here. I know this is we're talking about a little bit of luck, but we're talking also about what would be possible. All right. Let's say about 3.some%. It could have been done. All right. Now, my strategy was not this one, and fortunately so, because if we decided to go in short here, what would have happened is we could have either taken the small 3% profit, and by the way, if you're doing that, of course, have a little bit of a stop loss just above it, or a 1% stop loss. And that's a small 3-to-1 trade then. If we did that, we would have most likely been in the loss right now because we reversed really quickly afterwards, after, as I just said, about 3%. And that's actually easier seen on a higher time frame. If you look at the 1 day, you can easily see here that our downfall here was not really confirmed at all. Like, that's the way I like to trade it. It's like, okay, if we get a support breach, which we did get, we wait for the second candle. And if it's a confirmation, so it's another red candle, we enter into a short. If it's a green one here, and in this case here, it even is not solely below the support, but it actually goes back upwards from there, we're either indecisive, so we're not really doing anything irrational, or we're still going on with the previous wave that was there. Now, even though the previous wave here is quite negative, as you can see, this is basically the trend that's been going on for, I guess, the last couple of weeks, or actually the last week. I don't know. It just depends a little bit, all right? Because if we check longer term, and I've been checking a couple of these guys' analysis out as well, there's a few ways to see what is happening right now. That will always be the case, but here's 3 that I really quite liked to give you guys a little bit of an overview. Recently, price has been trading between midline and lower band. Price just got support from lower band with Bollinger Band squeeze indicating an uptrend. Volume moving up and down with price change from price decrease, volume increase to price decrease, volume decrease, indicating a shift from sellers to buyers. So again, this sounds all the way positive as of this point. There's a couple of indicators as well. MACD line moving below the signal line. The histogram is in the negative region, suggesting bearish bias, that's negative. RSI has a value below the midline around 40, still in neutral region, so this doesn't say that much. And CCI has a value around minus 114, all the way there, yeah, minus 114 in the oversold region, indicating an uptrend. I don't personally use that too often, but all right, everybody got their own thing. Another one here was another bullish trade. Trend line support, yeah, that's what I just said with it depends on how you want to view it. If you zoom out, which is annoying to do on the laptop here, if I have a mouse, all will be good. If I just have the MacBook here, please don't ask me to do those types of things. But yeah, basically, if you check it out from a longer term, if you check all the way from March up till now, it definitely, in my opinion as well, looks like quite an uptrend. You know, and that would say, you know, all the smaller, I guess, losses we're seeing right now, even exactly today, that loss, which you can see in there, it actually does not really matter too much, as it's just another continuation of the pattern, which is an uptrend. So thinking about that one, I guess, you know, it might be looking good. However, of course, I can't be only positive. There was also a couple of negative ones, which have said, all right, the 23rd, and again, this is a shorter term trade. This is 1 hour instead of the 1 day. What was this one actually? Let's see. This one was also 1 day. Yeah. So all three of us were doing 1 day. This guy's doing 1 hour, which of course is looking a lot more bearish. However, it also depends a little bit. In my opinion, it's not that bearish. He says though, we have broken support. I didn't actually read what he wrote, but this is what I'm assuming from his chart and his lines. We broke support, which turned to new resistance, and thus we're going to the next zone or level, which is in this little area right here at about 21.5 cents. I must say it is quite obvious, right? On the 1 hour chart, it does look like that's going to happen because we broke the support line with quite some heavy volume. So it's backed up by volume. It's not a coincidence or something like that. And there's even 2 of those heavy freaking candles. Yeah, it kind of feels like a supported downtrend movement, right? Or at least a supported breach that we won't recover from that quickly. But again, time will only tell. I've just shown you guys what I have found and what I think about the situation. I do not give you guys financial advice or anything like that. I just want to show you guys what I think. Brad Garlinghouse over on Twitter said, over 70% of the central banks around the world are looking at deploying CBDCs, and one thing that's crystal clear is the importance of interoperability. If you're not prioritizing this, you're just rebuilding the same siloed system. And that is a reply or a retweet from Ripple themselves, who said earlier today, CBDCs are a question of when, not if. The key to success is functionality that enables each system to operate seamlessly with other payment systems. By Ripple's James Wallace. Read more. You can read more about that, but the general idea I completely agree with. All right, and also the idea that CBDCs are bad for XRP or bad for Ripple is complete bull. I don't want to say it out loud, but it's completely false. There's really no way, shape, or form in which I can see it as a bad thing. It's no competition. It's no nothing. It is always a positive thing. So think about this one here. I don't know where I got this quote from now. I really can't really remember where it is from exactly, but it goes like this. All right. Let's say that some a little bit more unknown country, you pick one for yourself, or just a miscellaneous country. Like for example, what currency is not really known? Let's go for a Peruvian peso, right? Is that okay? I don't know if that's even a thing. Honestly, guys, damn, I don't know any currency right now that's not really being used a lot. Let's say all right, let's think of something. Let's think of a Brad dollar, which is used by only 1,000 people, and of course, let's say the Mexican peso. Now, there's a good chance that pair does not exist. Why? Because they don't really have pairs for every single thing around this world. And even more so, if that person in that Brad country wants to trade with others, it's going to be very cumbersome because they would have to switch over to US dollar first because, well, most currencies do have their pair with US dollar, and then switch that over into Mexican peso. Right, because again, the chance of Mexico having that country with that strange little currency is quite small. So basically, what XRP right now does is take over that US dollar being the middle and giving it XRP. So what that does, first of all, is create interoperability. And in my own words, how I like to describe it is just, it frees the people. It frees everything, frees everybody, because it becomes independent now. It's not really dependent on the US dollar anymore and how that all works and the regulations that follow suit. No. And that's also the con to stablecoins, where stablecoins could either replace that fiat part or still act as the intermediary currency. But those would then still, in my opinion, have the same problem that the normal fiat has of really not having that strong of a connection with all the pairs individually, because I don't really see that happening too soon. And also all the regulations and all the thoughts that come together with it, because it's not an independent, decentralized asset like XRP is. And with CBDCs, it's kind of the same story. It's like CBDCs could become the outer currencies of like that strange country's currency, brat currency, and Mexican peso CBDC, if you guys get me right there, just a Mexican CBDC. They could also become the intermediary, but then again, it would most likely be the US, since that's the central one, which most likely has all the pairs. But then again, why would you do that? Because there's all the regulations and all the thoughts. The only way the system kind of breaks is if all pairs out there were to be connected with all other pairs. But that's the same as saying all banks will have connections with all banks. It just does not happen. It's not going to go that way. A part of that is also trust, of course, right? Because you need some trust lines, and we can talk about these banks for a very long while. Could they use IOUs? Well, yes, they could. Will they? Again, that all depends on trust. They don't really have trust, so they won't really use that. And again, we can go into a lot more detail about why they will not use those systems. The more important part about it is they will most likely use XRP because it's looking like a just an obvious choice. So I don't really get why they would not. A harvest set to permit operations to acquire return on XRP Bitcoin. All right, that's a very strange title. Bitcoin shall be one of the assets which Harvest supports. Other assets include Ripple's XRP and some others. And that's actually all I want to keep it at. All right, I don't support this at all. I just wanted to mention that it is there, it is supported, and you guys can make up your own opinion for the rest. That's all. That's all, folks. New independent foundation wants to accelerate adoption of the XRP ledger. A Ripple-funded nonprofit is set to boost the adoption of the XRP ledger, and more about this we'll talk about in another video that is coming out later today, because I have some strong opinions on this one, but I don't know to what extent I should express them. All right, on this channel, I value integrity really, really highly. And thus, I will always tell you guys exactly what I think of something whenever I think of something. And by the way, if you do enjoy that, make sure you press the like button to support me. But I'm also questioning a little bit. Should I, whenever I have some criticism, just post it out immediately? Or should I show some, what is this word? Restraint. That's a strange word because I don't like to use it. Now, I'm really thinking about that situation because there are some critical points to make about this foundation. Nonprofit is never really nonprofit anyway. And also, yeah, I guess more I'll talk about that in a later video. Guys, hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe. And if you did, make sure you press... Oh, wait, I just said that. Whatever. Take care, guys, and have a very, very nice day.